The Hulk these days is considered to be one of the strongest superheroes. His strength is almost unparalleled. His rage is the source of his power, including his strength and stamina, with no finite limits. He's incredibly resistant to almost all energy attacks, he can survive nuclear attacks, and even when he's Bruce Banner with his genius-level intellect, it's real hard to take him down without him transforming. He's come a long way since his first appearance in 1962. So for this list, we're taking a look at some of the theories as to why some people out there on the grand ol' interwebs still want to argue why the Hulk is actually considered weak. And I mean, hey, some of them are pretty compelling arguments, aside from the fact that he's been given a whole lot of plot muscle. So these are the top 10 reasons why the Hulk is actually weak. And at number 10 is plot muscle. Speaking of which, let's start off this list by talking about that plot muscle. When we were first introduced to the Hulk in 1962, he would transform into the Hulk at sunset and revert back to Bruce at dawn. Since then, writers have increased his abilities from beyond superhuman strength and superhuman durability, giving him stuff like the ability to see astral projections and spirits, or that thing that he does to punch his way through temporal or spatial dimensions. Now when I say plot muscle, I mean essentially plot armor, where writers have given him more and more things that just kind of make him invincible. And at number 9 is weak against celestial and godlike characters. While the Hulk can arguably kick some major butt when it comes to most of the heroes or villains in the Marvel Universe, he doesn't stand a chance against the likes of characters with the power cosmic or godlike abilities. When he was faced off against Zeus, he was punched so hard that green literally came out of his mouth. And when he faced Silver Surfer, well, he got beat too. Silver Surfer had the power to whip out tricks like removing Banner's gamma radiation, turning him back to Bruce. Up next, number 8 is regular heroes can take him on too. While that title seems absolutely absurd, let's do a little case study here. So back in the Acts of Vengeance story arc, Spider-Man took on the Hulk and, well, kicked his butt. Now, I'm not saying Spider-Man by any means is normal. His abilities are partially the reason why he's so impressive. But on a regular day, it'd be pretty difficult for him to take on the Hulk from an offensive stance. This time around though, Captain Universe had bestowed Spidey with cosmic powers and abilities, so he punches the Hulk into outer space, who he then saves and brings back down to Earth. And the Hulk is like, yeah, cool, not gonna mess with you. I'm angry, but not gonna mess with you. Up next at number 7 is he can be manipulated. While he's incredibly powerful and in more recent canon story arcs can resist the psychic abilities of the likes of people like Charles Xavier, he's not prone to avoiding manipulation. For example, the story arc we just mentioned with Spider-Man, Hulk attacking Peter happened because he was manipulated to do so by villains. While Bruce Banner is a literal genius, his calm logic is nowhere to be found when the Hulk is angry and present. Hulk is also not invulnerable to reality-altering attacks, which, if done correctly, can potentially hinder him or disarm him of his powers. Up next, number 6 is only one power. If your one power is strength, you don't have a whole ton of versatility when it comes to battle. All his powers derive from that strength, and while that's gotten him pretty damn far, it gives him a disadvantage when facing off against heroes or villains of higher strength. Remember, his rage makes him stronger, so the longer they fight, the stronger he does get. But if he's facing off against someone who is immensely stronger than him right off the bat, well, could be trouble for the Hulk. If he's up against someone like the Silver Surfer who can use his cosmic power to depower him, well, you know, sometimes it's nice to have more than one trick up your sleeve. Up next, number 5 is speed. While strength might be the defining factor of the Hulk, strength is no good when you're dealing with someone who's incredibly fast. Fast enough to throw you into an alternate reality, perhaps. Or trap you in the Speed Force? Okay, yes, I know, mixing universes here, and the Hulk will never have to encounter the DC-created Speed Force, and its users, the Scarlet Speedsters of the Flash family. But hypothetically speaking here, if he did, the Flash has many a resource on his side that he could easily use to take him on. Number 4, he wouldn't fare very well in the DC Universe. Speaking of the Flash, let's take a look at the DC Universe as a whole. Yes, the Hulk is perhaps one of the strongest heroes if you don't count those celestial and godlike heroes we mentioned earlier, but up against the likes of other heroes who have been collecting plot armor since the Golden Age, well, it's a little harder to come out on top. We're talking Superman, Dr. Manhattan, okay yes, not Golden Age there, but whatever, the Green Lantern Corps, hell, even Batman with his tons and tons and tons of plot armor stands one hell of a chance against him. And yeah, I know it sounds like a petty contest where everyone's just, you know, whipping their dicks out and being pretentious and one-upping one another, and some writers have explored this with crossovers before of the companies in alternate universes, of course. Like for example, when Superman took on the Hulk. Yep, happened. Hulk lost, sort of. And at number 3 is he needs to sustain his anger. Sure, you won't like him when he's angry, but how about when he's calm? Much easier to deal with. If the Hulk isn't able to sustain his anger or to get angry in the first place, he can't access his potential for surreal power. In 1984's Secret Wars number 4, the Hulk has to keep a whole 150 billion ton mountain range held up so that his fellow heroes won't die, causing his allies to try to keep him as angry as possible in order for his strength to not waver. A little problematic there, eh? Up next, number 2 is puppies. S.H.I.E.L.D. used puppies to calm him down once. I'll just leave it at that. And finally, in our number 1 spot is Bruce Banner. While it's been proven in the past that Bruce Banner was still capable of transforming into the Hulk while under sedation, let's take a look at a hypothetical argument here. Say someone approached Bruce, being totally cool and friendly, and then out of nowhere when he wasn't paying attention just blasted him in the head with a power so strong that it borderlines on Zeus's. And it immediately kills him before he can transform. Because yes, I know, he can regenerate, and yes, his future self is Maestro and can regenerate from dust. And yeah, he's tried to shoot himself, but the Hulk stopped him from dying, spitting the bullet out. There's a lot of ways around this one, I know. Anyway, Banner is a tad bit of a liability for the Green Goliath, as proven when Jean Grey psionically shut Banner off, which increased the Hulk's abilities significantly when fighting Onslaught. There we have it, friends. Hope you guys aren't too triggered by that list. So why do you guys think the Hulk is weak? Why do you guys think the Hulk is strong? Let us know in the comments below. And remember, be nice to one another. That being said, if you dug this list, make sure you hit those like and subscribe buttons. But for now, I've been Kelly Pally for Top 10 Nerd, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.